Okay, so thank you for reaching out. Let me go ahead and get right into it. As you can see, it's just a lot of stuff. It's a ton of different things that I check. Video will probably be about 45 minutes or so. So what I do with this, I'm going to give you everything you need to do it on your own. So if you want to do it on your own, you can totally do it on your own. If you want my help, we could work together. But this is a long process. Fixing all your problems would take upwards many months. That's all I could say. I'd have to put together a full plan, but as you'll see, it's just a lot of work. You could hire more of a corporate SEO agency to do it for you. You'd probably pay them $4,000 a month, or maybe like $2,000 a month, something like that, and they could probably finish it all up within 2 or 3 months. But somebody like me, it would be, it's just me and a couple people, so it'd be cheaper, but it's a slower process as well. But I'm going to lay it all out for you, and then we can talk afterwards if you want. So local SEO comes down to what's called proximity, relevance, and prominence. Proximity is how close are you to the searcher. So if somebody's across town in San Diego from where your business is, and you're not even in San Diego, you're in another city, which I can't remember right now, but we'll get into that. If somebody's like searching for a sign shop and they're like within a block of that shop or within a mile and you're 20 miles away, that other one's going to show up. So that's just, if you're not in San Diego, you're starting with one hand tied behind your back. Relevance, how relevant are you to the search? Also, obviously, you're not going to show up for pizza shop because you're not a pizza shop. And how prominent are you? What are you like on Yelp? How many other places are you mentioned on the web, et cetera, et cetera. That kind of goes along a little bit with expertise, authority, trust, a little bit if you get into that for SEO. So what I did, I looked at Google Business Profile, and I just have a little audit that I do here. Look at all these points. Any of this video, I could literally go on, honestly, for like 5-6 hours. So if I'm not going to spend too much time in any one point. If there's any point you want me to get more specific on, let me know, and I can. Or if something doesn't make sense, I can get much more into it. But I'm just cautious about wasting time. You may just want a higher level audit, and that's what the focus of this is. But if there's anything more specific you want, even if you decide you don't want to do business, if you don't want me to help you out, that's totally fine. I'm happy to answer a question or two. No big deal. Is there only one Google GBP? Stands for Google Business Profile, formerly Google My Business. You do have those two profiles. So I think you said you do actually, or you have actually put the client email up here. You have, I don't know if you have a GMB entry for it, but you have Carlsbad Designs. You want all of your business traffic going to one domain, because if you're splitting it up between multiple domains and then multiple even GBP properties, you're getting like half the credit. Instead of building up all that authority in that one property, you're splitting it across multiple properties. So you'd want to do that. You'd want to do that in one property, preferably. There might be reasons you have to, and that's something we could discuss, but ideally, you would just have one. And you would just get rid of one of them and forward it to whichever one the master one is. Justifications. These are keywords that Google thinks are important. So these are key things we'd want to put on your website and also in your Google Business Profile description. Spammy competitor listings. So what this is, if you go to, let me close this window, Google Business Profile, and you search for sign shop, and I'm doing sign shop because that's the category that Google Business Profile uses here. You can see these are your Google Business Profile categories, and we'll get into all this. What you do is if you put your keywords in your business name, which you do, you can actually get penalized for it. You can actually get your account suspended. So you are actually doing it, and I don't know why you're showing up. Now you're showing up second. It used to be a lot lower. Let's do it maybe because it's using my cookies. Let's try to incognito. Let's try it here. Oh, you're showing up second. Wow. And I think before I was doing custom signs. So I guess it would depend on what people are searching on. Yeah, this is you. Why are you showing up second now? Very interesting. Earlier you were showing up, so I would need to go verify this. Definitely. I thought you were when I looked, you were like way down here, so I don't know what's going on. But the bottom line is, that is very strange. Putting extra keywords in your business name does work, but you can get your profile suspended for it. So what you want to do, if you want to keep it there, that's up to you. I wouldn't keep it there. I would get rid of it. Just be aware of the risks. You don't want to get your account suspended. But you can see other businesses are spamming as well. So the bottom line is you would want to go and report these listings, and so they wouldn't be able to take advantage of moving up higher in the rankings with these spam business listings. That's what that means. And it's something you're doing. I wouldn't recommend it, but ultimately that's up to each business what they want to do. You don't have any errors. That's good. You are verified. That's good. Categories. So if we look at categories, these are for this search for this keyword, Sign Shop San Diego on Google Maps. These are the top Google business profile categories used: sign shop, banner store, print store, graphic designer. If you look at yours, you're using a lot of them, but you're not using some of the top ones. Let's see. Are you an electrical installation service? So that's something we would want to verify. So bottom line is you want to go take the ones that of these top, all these businesses are using these categories. This one. If you look at the top few results, these are the most common categories used. So you'd want to make sure you're just using all these, is what that means. So that's something we would look into. Your business profile. Let's do signs. Let's do this. There's something called use what Google gives you. If Google gives you 750 words, I think maybe it's 550. We're about to find out. 750 for a business description. You're using 746. Am I totally missing something? It doesn't look like 746 words. Huh, okay. Well, I do like that you mentioned these very well-known clients. And let me pause it real quick. Okay, so this actually reads pretty good. It's something I would optimize a little more, but you do mention the geo information. So geo meaning geographical information. And you do mention, like signs and stuff like that. So that's actually pretty good. I could have sworn it was a lot less than that. Interesting. Okay. I'd probably split it into 2 paragraphs though. But I like that you do have these really well-known clients. Home Depot, State Farm, everybody knows those, Pando Express. So this is something I would definitely emphasize on the home page as well. Okay, you don't have a duplicate address. Address duplicates, which is good. Phone number. So let me see what I did here. I can't remember. I do so many things, I can't remember what these things are. What all of these notes are. Okay, so I search for your phone number. Oh, and it comes up as, this goes back to having the multiple business names. This just confuses Google. So there's 2 businesses with the same phone number. So that's something that we would want to figure out. Also, OCI Materials uses the same phone number, right? So you don't want to have all of these inconsistencies. So this is the stuff that just takes a long time to get sorted out. Sometimes you just can't get it sorted out. Like if you have no idea what BuzzFile is, let's go look at it real quick. Company information database. Okay, so is this something you control? I'm sure if this is something you can control, we'd want to change it. If it's not, we would reach out to them and see if they could change it. But as much as possible, we want to keep this stuff as consistent. These are called citations. I think most SEOs would agree that citation consistency, meaning any place your company name is listed, you want the company name, the address, the phone number, the website, all that stuff to be exactly the same. I think most SEOs would agree for local SEO purposes that's at least a top 10 ranking factor. And you'll see as we go on, you have a lot of inconsistencies all across the web. So that's really, that's hurting things. The reason being is Google wants to display results to people that it can trust that are accurate. So it doesn't just look, at its own information. It's getting information from Yelp, Bing Places, Apple Maps, all these places, and trying to determine what's right and what's wrong. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, are competitors using fake addresses? So this, you can't use according to Google Business Profile policy, you can't use an address if it's not a physical business address. Some of the businesses listed are using home addresses. So it goes back to doing what we talked about previously. I would report those. You don't want to allow your competitors to get an advantage on you for doing these little hacks. Are you in the location you're trying to rank for? So you're not, which is just not ideal, but I mean, it is what it is. You're in San Marcos, and I Googled it. It looks like that's about 30 minutes from San Diego. So you're just going to have, for people in San Diego, you're just going back to the proximity part of local SEO. you're just starting with that arm tied behind your back, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So that's just unfortunate, but that's unless you opened a physical business in San Diego, but you know, that's a whole thing. That's not just like setting up a web page. That's a whole thing. Service areas. So let's look at service areas again. I wasn't sure. This is just something I would want to go point out. And let's go look at it and just make sure these are all the areas you service. Are these correct? I'm not familiar with the areas. I mean, I recognize some of the names, but I have no idea like where they are in relation to San Diego. So I said no, even though that might be right, but it's something we'd want to go back and check. And basically what I would do, based on all the information I've gathered here, I would put together probably this would probably take at least 6 months to get through all this stuff. But yeah, so basically I would take this and put together a plan. Website URL is good. Products. So the products are there, but they're inconsistent. So go here. Some of them have prices. Some of them don't. Like, well, I think like this has a price. And I know you may not be able to price it out. Like that's fine. Like I get it. But I would want to be consistent about it. And I would want to go and optimize the descriptions a little more. Actually, didn't see this one. So this is showing the description of this. Okay, so basically this means we would go and we would optimize the product listings. You don't mention any services. Now what you want to do, so you don't have any services. The services you mention here, you want to mirror those to the services you have listed here on your home site, so on your website. So any service you have listed, like aerial installs and services to make you successful, this would be a service listed in Google Business Profile. And the website, honestly, it just looks very plain and dated. I would definitely consider giving it a facelift. The content's okay. There's not a lot of... It's kind of short, but anyway, I just think it looks too plain. And I'll point out some of that as we go along. Some things that I came across as we go along. You don't have an appointment link. I would set up an appointment link. Your attributes, so you'd want to finish filling out these attributes. Now, some of this stuff is super quick. Profile. Go down here. And are you LGBTQ friendly? Like this. Boom. Yes, yes. Assuming you are. Amenities. Do you have a gender neutral restroom? Whatever. Do you have Wi-Fi? Whatever. Let's just finish. Let's just get those filled out one way or the other. And you'll be good there. Opening date, it is there, but is it accurate? I think it's 2013 or something. So, and that kind of correlates with the domain age of the domain name. So I'm pretty sure that's probably accurate. You do have call tracking set up. You're not doing any Google posts. So that's something I would do. Reviews. You do have reviews, but you only have 20, I think it is. And is it 20? I think it was about 20. Yeah, 20. But the responses are very short. I like them to be more personable. Like you probably get to know these people, and so you could mention like something specific about a conversation you had. Mainly because when people read this, they're going to notice that stuff. They're going to notice that you are personal and that you actually know you pay attention to your clients and you form relationships with them. That's really important. I have a whole strategy for getting reviews. It's something you need a lot more of. Reviews are really, really important. I think most local SEOs would say reviews is a top 3 thing for sure. Definitely, if you've been in business longer than, I think what you've been in about 10 years, you definitely need more than 20 reviews on your Google Business Profile. And there's ways to get that I could help you with. You do have, I don't think you have messages set up. This is so people can message you from your Google Business Profile listing on the phone. That's something I would set up for sure. You don't have a logo or a cover photo. I didn't see. And you don't have 3 photos like inside the building, all that stuff. So basically you don't have all the photos that most people would put in their profile. So that's something we work on. Videos, I didn't see a lot. I don't think I saw any videos actually, but that's something we'd work on. Users, this isn't an SEO thing at all. It's just I went to your user and make sure that there wasn't a bunch of contractors that have access to your profile, which they don't. So we're good there. Maybe contractors you worked with in the past that you forgot they were on there. That's more of a security thing. I also do web performance and web security. So if you go to my website, you'd see that. I think SEO, website design, security, and performance all go hand in hand, right? So I offer all four of those services. Question. So you don't have PAA is people also ask. That's people also ask from the Google search results. You want to answer the questions on your Google business profile, right? Those where it says like know this place. You want to answer those questions, and you can answer the questions on the listing as well from like the end user search result page, the SERP, that search engine results page. And then you want to mirror those on the website as well. So that's that. So that's Google Business Profile. So you can definitely see there's a lot of issues to resolve. Screaming Frog. So Screaming Frog is a site spider. Let me pause it real quick again. Okay, so site structure, basically everything is accessible within 4 clicks. So that's good. You don't have things that take like 10 clicks to get to. Let's just go through these. Your URLs look pretty good. You want in the URL itself, you want to have it like I wouldn't just say San Diego CA signs. I would have made it, San Diego, California custom signs or something, but I wouldn't worry with it now. It's too late now. It's no big deal. So I would have made those a little bit better. Everything's indexed, I think. Let me go back and look. Indexed. Okay, so you do have some broken links. So you can go over here and see indexed, whatever. But if we go to response code, we can go to broken links. So you have some broken links that I would fix. You don't have any redirections, surprisingly. Oh, you do have redirections. My bad. Yeah, okay, so you have a lot of redirects. So this is something I would fix. Now these these are external, so some of these you can't fix. And redirects aren't that big of a deal, but it's something just to keep in mind. I must have clicked on the wrong tab. URL, page titles. So page titles I would clean up. So I'll just give you an example of page titles. You have page titles that are duplicate page titles. Whoops. So these are actually missing page titles. And these are duplicate page titles. So Oceanside, California signs and San Diego, California signs have the same page title. So that's not good, right? So you'd want to clean all this stuff up. So that's a problem. Meta descriptions look okay, but there's some that are kind of odd. Like Valley Center, California signs. Valley Center, California signs, home to 9,000 people. It is a rural area. So I understand why you're doing this probably for SEO purposes, but it's still not a good meta description. Meta description is that little blob of text that appears in the search results. So that's something we would optimize as well. Using meta keywords. So H1s, all pages need to have good H1s. H1s meaning usually it's the top little bold part here. This is the H1 on your homepage, which is good. Once you get on your service pages, and it's not necessarily just H1s, it's H2s and all that stuff. They're not really optimized that well, so that's something we would do as well. And you're starting to see why this would just become a long process. Links, you don't have a good internal linking structure that helps Google understand what's going on. Also, external links are good. It helps Google. Google tends to like websites that have external links because it shows Google that you are part of the web ecosystem and want to help people get from point A to point B. So that's something I definitely would work on. Get some external links. It's easy to get external links, especially in blog content. Your canonicals are good. SEO images are not SEO optimized, meaning some of them are very large, and this can slow down web page load time. See, this is actually 1 meg, and some of them have decent file names, but a lot of them are kind of just more generic. But it's good because most of your file names, it's not like image35.jpg or whatever. A lot of them are pretty good, but we still would want to improve, especially the ones on the more high traffic pages. But you can see this image is 1.1 meg. You would want to get this down to, it's a JPEG, so we would get this down, we'd make this WebP, and we would get this down to probably about 50K, right? An average web page is about 1 meg. About 3 megs. So this image alone is about the third the size of an average web page. It doesn't take long to load on a laptop on a fast broadband connection like I'm on now, but it can slow things down on mobile, specifically on lower end mobile phones with slower connections. So that's just another thing. So all this stuff adds up. Underperforming thin content. I would need to go into Google Search Console and look. So the bottom line is Google just doesn't look at, if you're trying to rank a content piece or a landing page or something like that, Google looks at your entire site. If you have a lot of junk on your website that nobody's visiting, then that's stuff you'd want to clean up. So what did I do here? Okay, so see how this page looks really sloppy and unprofessional? This is the kind of stuff that would turn people off, especially since you're in a business that is based on looks, right? It's all about looking nice and looking fancy. It's not good that you have a web page that looks unprofessional like this, because if you look at this, it's just a block. It's just an image. It's almost like a web page from like the early 2000s or something like that. And you come here and it's sloppy. It's bold text here, but watch as we go down. It changes to a different font And you go down further, and it's even a different font. Actually, I think that's the same font as that. But look at all this white space. So I definitely would, yeah, I would definitely do a website overhaul. I mean, that's a big investment. That's something, you know, it's probably going to run you. You could get somebody on Fiverr to do it for probably $300, something like that. But I don't know what kind of quality it's going to be. We could do it for about $1,000. But yeah, it just definitely needs a facelift. What I would do is just go to your competitor sites that you gave me and look at theirs compared to yours, right? It just looks a lot cleaner. It's a lot snazzier, especially, like I said, in a business that's built on appearance. Like, it doesn't look bad. It just looks really plain. It looks like, I don't know, just something from like an old website from, you know, the GeoCities days. That was just very plain. Not something I would want to have specifically for a business that's product is based on appearance. Okay, I did a SEO ability scan that came back good. SEO Optimer scan that came back good. Competing domains. Okay, I would do all this research in Ahrefs. You know, if we decided to work together, I would do like a content gap analysis. You compare to your competitors, what they're ranking for, what you're not ranking for, keywords that you're ranking between 5 and 15 for that you can move up for easily, et cetera, et cetera. This is all stuff that I would do. Do you have you ideally want to have a YouTube video for each of your landing pages for each of your services. So a video could be something you actually doing an aerial install of a sign, which is crazy. I would love to see that. That actually, you could maybe even have a TikTok account to show stuff like that. People, I think, would think that was pretty cool. But that's what that means, so you don't have that. And also that you're building up your web footprint when you have a YouTube account, and you're getting that brand exposure that way as well. So I would look at, we'd look at your local competitors a lot more. I looked at them, the 3 that you gave me, but we would look at them in a lot more detail. And so I don't only like looking at local competition observations. I like to look at what the top companies ranking for custom signs or whatever the keyword would be. And I like to look at Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. Those are 3 huge cities, 3 huge markets, and you know those people are investing probably hundreds of thousands of dollars into SEO and marketing, probably more than that every year, you know, depending, I don't know, millions even. I have no idea. I guess it depends on how big it is. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, I just did site:/domain to make sure you didn't have a bunch of junk indexing, Google indexing a bunch of junk on your domain anywhere on your property, and they don't. I need access to Google Search Console to check some of the Google Search Console, the page status stuff. Are the landing pages indexed? They appear to be. I don't know why this is on here twice. I must have done something. Let's get rid of that. Are you using multiple domains? You are. You're using that Carlsbad sign. So that's something that's one of the, before going forward, that's the first thing I would address. Unless they're 2 different businesses, I would have to understand more, but that's definitely something that I would address at the beginning. Competition stuff. So this is something we'd look at. Optimize content. So this is a whole process I have called Qualify and Conquer. You can watch this video if you want. Whoop, I need to how to write content. Okay, I accidentally paused the video, so I'm back. But basically, that's a free process for creating content on your own, and for content that people are actually searching for and that you have a chance of ranking for. So let me go back to where I was. I was talking and I realized I wasn't recording. So we're right here. Okay, I did a siren scan to find out what category it thought you were in. So we want to find out why Siren thinks you're a transportation company, because you're clearly not a transportation company, right? You're a custom sign company. So that's something we would investigate. Let me make sure I'm recording, which I am. Okay, we're 23 minutes in. Footer. So going back to your website, you don't have a footer. You do mention your geo places you serve, and this is good to have these, but they're not detailed enough. These are just very lightweight pages. I would like to I don't even know if all these are actually indexed. That's something I would check in Google Search Console. That's the quickest way. You need to have a lot more. I see what you're doing. You do mention like some geo information, which is good, but you want to mention all your services on here. You do that actually right there, but it's just, see how it's just sloppy and old looking. So these are things you definitely would want to work on, and they're just not long enough. A landing page should at least be 500 words, and these aren't. So we'd want to optimize that. Do you want to use Google Guaranteed? I don't know if you can. Google Guaranteed is actually a thing for sign shops. Something you might want to look into. It's mainly for like contractors and stuff like that. Your domain name is good. Your backlink profile. So you never want to get a bunch of spammy backlinks, although there are exceptions, and I use some questionable backlinks at times, depending on how bad things get. But what happened? I would like to know what happened here. So it looks like right about December of last year, you started getting a lot of backlinks. I'm wondering, did you buy backlinks? And I'd like to know where you bought them from. The primary tool I use to do this is actually down right now, so I wasn't able to get too much detailed information, but that's another thing we would dig into, using a tool called Ahrefs. You have Favicon, which is good. Your 404 page is good. You have a good sitemap. You have a good robust set text, which is good. Your website doesn't seem to be very secure. So that's something else that I do, like I said. And if I work with you, and I can just, if you don't want to do any SEO stuff, I do, I lock down websites as well, specifically WordPress websites. I have an agency license for the iTheme Security Pro plugin. It comes with, forcing strict passwords, forcing change passwords, two-factor authentication, which is like the biggest thing you could possibly do. You can lock down access to your backend by like IP address or IP address range. There's all kinds of stuff. And it's not just a plugin. There's all kinds of stuff. So that comes with this monthly plan that I put together to knock all this stuff out. Same thing with performance. Your website performs pretty good, but I would improve it even more. I think we could improve it even more. I did a test over at Web Page Test, and the core web vitals are pretty decent, but I think we could improve it a little bit more. It's not bad, but it does have a hitch at the very beginning. Let me see if I still have it up. If not, I'm not going to wait. Here we go. So this is the waterfall chart for your website. You can see the core web vitals, yellow, green, green. So that's good. Your website's 2.5 meg. You're doing 100, so you do 129 requests. The average website does about 100 requests or less. So you're just loading a lot of things. This is how long each one of these things takes to load. So this piece of CSS took, under a half second. This took a little over a half second. So we'd want to, as these lines get longer, find out why they're getting longer. And we can probably optimize. I have, as I mentioned, I have a agency, I think I mentioned agency license for iTheme Security Pro. So you'd get that for free or as part of the package. I also have an agency license for, and if you bought it, I think it's like $70 a year or something like that. The performance plugin I use is WP Rocket. Again, that's like $70 a year or something like that. That's something you'd get for free as well. So I would optimize the page speed, website performance. Same thing with the service pages. Your website, it technically is mobile friendly, but if you look at it on a mobile phone, at least on my mobile phone, the carousel up top here, I might even consider doing a new logo. And I have a logo guy that we could knock out a few mock-ups if you want. Wouldn't charge you for it, just if you want some ideas. But I mean, you're pretty established business. You may not want to be screwing around with stuff like that. This carousel here, it doesn't load for me on mobile. I guess it's not yeah, it is a carousel. So I don't like carousels because they slow websites down. I would just have these and it looks like you're only have 3 images in the carousel, if I'm seeing this properly. So let's see if this island one pops up over here. Yeah. So you're loading a bunch of extra JavaScript code to load a carousel that holds more than 3 images, but you're only loading 3 images. So I would just do away with the carousel altogether and just make these images static so it doesn't rotate because you're loading all that extra code. So your blog content optimized. You don't mention in your blog content, anytime you mention your services, you want to link to your service pages. You don't always do that. Social media, the link. So you have Facebook, but it's not updated. So social media needs a lot of work. And your link to your social medias here don't work. So that's something. The phone number link is broken. So that's a big problem because a lot of people click on that mobile specifically. It just goes to a blank page, blocked. You don't necessarily need Twitter. The big thing would be Facebook, and YouTube would be really cool. At a minimum, if you can put like one video up every couple weeks, just doing a cool installation, because I think people might find that interesting or something, or tips and tricks, whatever, anything you can kind of think of. That at a minimum, it would increase a little bit, get you a little bit more brand exposure, and increase your web footprint, which Google's looking for. Also, anytime somebody's researching your company, they're going to see you're doing all this cool content. But I know all this takes time. I get it, right? It's overwhelming. Yeah, this is basically, where are we at? What was I going to say? Can't remember. Okay, Open Graph's good. That means your content looks nice when you share it from social media. Like it looks nice. So no, you want to have YouTube for all services and category pages. So you don't have a YouTube video there. You don't have any other social, which I probably wouldn't even recommend, but this is just something I check off. You want to optimize your your Yelp listing and any other niche directories. You're not doing that. Moz local scan. So I did this. You can see here, this just shows them some inconsistency. Now, I would do this is a free scan. I would use the Bright Local citation scan, and you get the free trial. You don't have to give a credit card or anything, just to get its citation audit. Because this one is kind of limited. This one coming from Moz, that's free. And your address is a shared address with other businesses, so it kind of got screwed up. But let me just give you an idea of the kind of things. We would get into this a lot more detail. So, signs for San Diego on Los whatever Boulevard, Suite S, and the phone number ends in 5118. Signs for San Diego. This one says Suite E, and this one says San Marcos. What does this one say? Again, on your website, it actually says something different. It doesn't say San Marcos, I don't think. Let's go look real quick. Well, let's go to your GBP entry. Oh, it is San Marcos. Okay, we're good. But there's still a lot of problems. Go here. And these are, just because it says not found doesn't necessarily mean we need to put them in all these directories, even though, because I mean, you don't want to put it in every little directory, but whatever directory is in, it needs to be consistent. The point is, I'm going to point out it's consistent. So this business name here is Signs for San Diego, a commercial sign company. So that's a totally different, but we understand as human beings, it's the same thing, but it's not consistent. And this doesn't have a suite, and it's 5118. Okay, let's keep going. Signs for San Diego. See, this one has a totally different address in Oceanside, and it's got 5118. I thought one of them had a different phone number. Let's see. So this one doesn't have a suite number, and this one says San Diego. So this one, so you can see these are just all over the place. So we would need to get these to be a lot more consistent. It's got 5118. Okay, so you can just see that it will require a lot of time. That's a really time-consuming thing. That's not something I can just do like on my own and report back to you in a day. I have to, coordinate with you, or you'd have to do it on your own. You have to contact these customer support teams at all these companies and get that resolved. And let me pause it real quick. Okay, then we'd also want to get in directories like top custom sign companies. See if we can get in those directories. Best custom sign companies. What about business directory San Diego, business directory San Marcos, business directory California? We'd want to get in all those. Public Square. So Public Square is a new business directory, but it's for, and I haven't even put any of my clients in it yet. I have one on my list. It's for freedom-loving Americans. So it's very targeted to conservative types. So, but as you can imagine, people that are into politics, it's very emotional. So if you're on the right, I guess I would say you probably wouldn't want to do this if you're on the left, because this is definitely a lot more conservative types. This is a directory we probably want to get in. And like I said, this is very new. Haven't even done it yet. And I think it's free to get in. So this is something to consider. If you're on the left and conservatives just drive you crazy, then it's not something you want to do. But if you're on the right, it's something I definitely would do. Service pages, we need to optimize the service pages. That's basically what this is. So on your GeoCities, you mention things to do kind of in that city, but we would still optimize it more. And anytime you mention like, San Marcos is the home of the world's largest train museum or whatever, we would link out to that train museum homepage. You don't use bullet points on your landing pages. That's something we want to do. Photos and videos on landing pages don't really have videos, have some photos, but it's just kind of sloppy. And you want to put all this stuff on your landing pages and homepage if you're not really doing that. External leaks, your call to action above the fold you're doing, which is good. Here, got a quote, boom, right there. Actually didn't test it. Let's see what happens. And this, I'd make this clickable too. San Marcos, okay. Okay, moving along. Awards, membership, certifications. You don't mention any of this on the homepage, but I did come across it when I was it in the About page, I think? I would definitely, let me make a note here in case we decide to do stuff. Mention big clients. Like Home Depot, and was it Taco Bell, whatever it was. well, there's business, like these logos here, your affiliations are good, but I wouldn't bury those. I would put those on the homepage along with testimonials. But any of your big clients, I mean, I don't know if that's considered appropriate or not. I would put you have them up here in these photos right here, which is good. But I would like the logos, like the logo for Home Depot here, the logo for whatever it was, Taco Bell. I know you said Panda Express. That would be cool to have that down here, just so it really sticks out. Because if I search for custom sign company in San Diego, how you have to think about this is, other than all this SEO stuff and keywords and entities and all this crazy stuff, all these titles, metadata, all this nonsense, what you got to think about is, why would somebody do business with you as opposed to one of your competitors? What makes you different, right? And that's what you really need to focus on. A lot of my clients have success by creating a why page, not just about us page, but a why page. Like, what sets you apart, right? And if you can't answer that, then that's like a problem, obviously, but you have something that sets you apart. Whether you're lowest price guaranteed, 24-hour service, that doesn't even make sense for your type of business. You know, I don't even know. I have no idea. But that's the kind of stuff that you definitely want to focus. That's not even SEO. That's more of a marketing thing. But that's what helps drive conversions. Because it's half the battle is getting them to the website. The other half of the battle is converting them to sign up and convincing them. Case studies. You don't have any case studies, but that's probably not even relevant here. Socials on website, you do, but they're broken. We want to check the top best directories, like I mentioned above, top, sign companies, and see if we can get on those lists. Phone number, you want it clickable, but it's broken. Contact menu in the footer, it's not there. Address in the footer, not there. Areas we serve in the footer, it's there, but it's not really a footer. About us page, you have it. Why us? We definitely want to have a why us page, as I mentioned about, and it's always good to give something away. What a real estate agent I have in Oregon does is she gives away a $50 Kindle Fire tablet to anybody that just meets with her. And it sounds crazy, but I know if I was looking for a real estate agent and it said, have a consultation and I'll give you a free tablet, I know a lot of people that would do it. Now, will it be profitable in the end? I have no idea. But these are the kind of things you just kind of want to think about. Again, more of a marketing thing, but it's just a little tip that does work. Is crypto accepted? You could really set, like if you go to my webpage, it's actually just was updated. I don't know why it's so slow. That's weird. Crypto-friendly agency. Full discounts are given to crypto-paying clients. That really just makes you look ahead of the curve. And people are searching more and more for crypto, sign company that accepts crypto. Right here. So that's Amazon. Right? So that's something I would incorporate if you're doing crypto, right? And that's something we definitely would do, if you're comfortable with it. Legal pages, probably don't need them. You're not using a lot of stock images, which is really good. Google likes actual real images, non-stock images, and you're using a lot of real images, which is good. So you're not mentioning the benefits of the services, which are a marketing thing. You don't have a thing that says find us on Yelp or like find us on wherever. You don't have the hours listed. You don't have an FAQ. The map's not on the website. You don't have any schema configured. Giving away something like a clickbait ebook is really good. You don't have anything like that. I don't know if that makes sense for your business, but it's part of the things that I check. I'd like to have a guaranteed badge saying everything's guaranteed. If you do guarantee everything, I'm sure you do. Can you add prices? May not make sense. Referral bonuses are pretty big. Not an SEO thing, but something to recommend. I don't do any marketing for my company. It's all referrals. I don't know about every. I have to think through it. The overwhelming majority of my clients are referrals. Set up a Google alert for your company right now so you can see get an alert anytime somebody mentions your company on the web. We'd want to set up Google Analytics. We'd want to get into Google Search Console and check all this stuff. That's something we definitely should do. We want to make sure you're not only in Google Business Profile, but what about Bing Places? Bing Places, not a lot of people use Bing, but as last I checked, Bing was what powered Alexa. So if somebody uses their Alexa device and says, contact a sign company near me, you want to get in there. But it's also increasing your web footprint. Also the same thing with Yahoo Local. I don't know who uses Yahoo Local anymore, but it's an easy citation. Apple Maps, they just now, as of a week ago, now call it Business Connect. I haven't even used Business Connect yet, so we'd want to get in there. And you want to get in these two very popular international search engines, not because they're going to be buying anything from you, probably anything anybody in these countries, but it is going to drive a little bit more traffic to your website. I get about 1% of my traffic from international search engines, and every little bit of traffic helps. Traffic leads to more traffic, leads to more traffic, leads to more traffic. So the more traffic you get on your content is going to lead to more traffic, which is going to lead to more sales, and that's what it's all about. We want to monitor your website to make sure it's not going down. You can use a tool like Uptime Robot for free. We configure that. I verified HTTP redirects to HTTPS and www or redirects to non-www. I didn't detect plagiarism. Oh, wait. Okay, you're right. User Bob and InspectLit are two ways. You want to see how people are interacting with your site. We would do that. I do User Bobs once per month. It's very awesome. You can see people use your site and you can hear them talk out loud while they're using your site. One of the first things I would do is I would get live chat on your site. You don't have to be there all the time. It can come to your mobile phone, and if you can have hours, so it only displays between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. or whatever. In worst case scenario is they try to reach out to you, and then you're not there, and they'll email you. I didn't see any relevant expired domains we could buy and redirect to your website. You're not using Google Ads. Could you be on justanswer.com? That's just more brand exposure, something to consider. A great way to get local backlinks. Backlinks are, if I didn't mention it, links are links from other websites to your sites. That's a signal to Google that your website's good, because why else are other companies linking to it? But it's a problem when you start buying a lot of spammy backlinks, because Google is going to detect that as spam and could actually penalize you. Although more and more it looks like they're just ignoring links that they detect as spam. But we can't say for sure. But links that are, if you get a backlink from a industry magazine related to signs, that's really powerful because it's the same niche. Or if you get a link from something in the same geographical location, that's really big. That's why you'd want to focus on advertising with churches, clubs, schools, especially on their websites, and get those backlinks on their websites. If you need foot traffic to your website, you could offer a free gift. Come by the sign shop and we'll give you a free gift card, right? Because what happens is people carry their phones around, and if they have an Android, Google knows this. Google sees them going to your business, and that increases the power of your ranking. Sounds kind of crazy, but all these things do work. It's something, and the beauty and the, I guess, non-beauty of SEO is not everything works all the times for all people. So a lot of these things you just have to keep trying until you find out what's working. You might have to test something for a couple months and let it go, and then manage it and watch it, and then wait a couple months. Does it working? No? Okay, then we'll change it up, right? Because there's things that you do for all sites as best practices, but stuff like this, offering a free gift card on Craigslist to get foot traffic, is that something that will be profitable for every company? I don't know. It would make sense for like a coffee shop for sure. Would it make sense for a sign shop? Probably not, but it might be something you want to test, because it, like I said, Google's going to know when that person's coming to your business. And if a lot of people are coming to your business, that's a sign to Google that your site's popular, that your business is popular. And then make sure we track results. So every month I do monthly reports and I track results, because if we're doing a lot of stuff and it's not making a difference, then why are we doing it? You know what I mean? So, all right. Hope this helped. Let me know if you got any questions. Like I said, if you want to do some SEO stuff, we can talk prices. I can help out. Like I said, it's going to be a long process because there's a lot of work to do. If you just want me to secure your website, I can do that. If you just want me to work on the performance, I can do that. Or if you just want to take this information and go do stuff on your own, that's totally fine too. I totally get that. But it's a lot of work, and hope this helped, and hope to hear from you soon. See ya.